Okay, so welcome back, guys. Let me quickly share my screen so that we can continue.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're continuing now. Okay, so we're talking about now the eco environment that we need to be consciously be involved in making sure that our environment is safe, even as advertisers. Okay, so now there's what we call the green marketing trends, which is there are 4 effective green marketing strategies. Okay, so I'm going to play this video. Just let me, I'm sure everybody can see this video. The desire to protect the environment and be green is something that has been growing
Yes, we can see it.
for years. Even in the current economic climate, the market for green products and services is gaining momentum. Nowadays, the environmental credentials can be a strong communicator of your brand and a unique selling point. If you are planning or already going green at work, then the green marketing strategy is key. First, let's have a look at what is green marketing. Green marketing is the marketing of environmentally friendly products and services. While different agencies and organizations offer various definitions of green marketing, sometimes called environmental marketing or eco-marketing, they generally agree that it is the marketing of products and companies that promote the environment in some substantial way. Some definitions look for environmentally safe or sustainable production, while others seek to reduce a company's carbon footprint. Beyond making an environmentally friendly product, business owners can do other things as part of their green marketing efforts. The following can all be part of the effective green marketing strategies. Let's take a look at these 4 effective strategies. First, pricing the right price. Price is one of the essential factors in the average customer's decision-making process. While many green shoppers are willing to pay extra to do the right thing, they still want good value for their money. Take a look at your competitors' pricing structures on their equivalent non-green products and try to challenge them. This will give those customers who have previously been held back by price an incentive to take that step and buy from you instead. When you are not able to compete on price, think about your value add. For example, an energy-efficient light bulb might be more expensive than a traditional light bulb, but it will last for 10 times longer, therefore creating longer-term savings. Second, enlist the support of third parties. Okay. So guys, what basically the green market is saying is, from, let me see here. Gugu, what did you understand there? What is green marketing? Gugu, you can't speak. Okay. Apile, what did you understand? What is green marketing? Okay. I don't know if you can hear me or you don't know. Okay, so green marketing from the video there, it's basically saying it is the marketing of products that are presumed to be environmentally safe. So it incorporates a broad range of activities, including product modification, changes to the production processes, sustainable packaging, as well as modifying advertising. Okay, so basically it's promoting eco-friendly uh, products. Okay. Okay, Google, I understand you there. Okay, so now we're gonna move now to uh, advertising in the political environment. Okay. Okay, so advertising is affected by the political environment because the political party in power influences social environment, the economic environment, and the legal environment.
A change of government can mean a change in the taxation structure, changes in legislation affecting business and increase the help for some sectors of industries. Okay, so remember even during the workshop we spoke a little bit about this, how politics affect the advertising, who uh, the government of the day affect how we advertise or affect even the advertisers in this form that a government can change the text structure, it can change certain legislation, it can allow some things to happen, it cannot allow some things to happen. So that's how politics affect advertising. So the political environment affects advertising as political instability may result in multinationals not wanting to invest in marketing in a country. Okay. So if the political environment is not stable, it's very toxic, we might find a lot of investors not investing. Okay, so advertising for a political party, it is important to think broadly when considering the political environment and its players and what they do or what they may do to change the current situation. Okay, so for example, in South Africa, we have political parties such as ANC, DA, EFF, etc. They are customers who require the services of advertising agencies as well as influencers of change. They influence how the country, its inhabitants, and its society changes. Okay, so think of this: political parties are also business people. They will need advertising agencies to create advertisements for them. As you can see, them these are just normal posters that we see every day advertising vote EFF, vote IFP, vote ANC, vote DA to keep making progress. Okay, so political institutions are very important to the advertising environment. Okay, they are business, they bring money. For instance, the DA 2014 television campaign, it costed around 13 million, more than three times the 4 million spent in 2009. So the DA in 2009 it spent 4 million on advertisements, television campaigns, but in 2014 it spent over a cost of 13 million. So you see now how political institutions are important to the advertising industry. Okay, so advertising for a political party, you can advertise. How you advertise is your politics, sell your ideas. So now let's look at these advertisements. Okay, I'm gonna play this advertisement. Let's look at it.
But when we started, voted for the very first time,
Sorry.
to billion and went back to basics. Do you remember when Gogo packed away the candles for the last time and the lights came on? Driving on the new tarred road, receiving the RTP home, the government bursary. Remember getting that first job, and when women reached for the skies. Remember our long walk to freedom. Madiba, Tambo, Sisu, remember us and why we first voted. We've come a long way, and we know much more still needs to be done. Vote ANC.
Okay, so this uh, campaign, it's an advertising for a political party. So this is an ANC advertising to whoever they are targeting, those people that can vote. Okay, so this is a political advertisement. You can actually see it saying vote ANC, 3 August 2016. So now political institutions, like I was saying, they're very, very, very integral in advertising industry. For instance, I gave you an instance of DA. Even in 2009, ANC, there was a television campaign by ANC in 2009, and it costed around 8 million that was spent creating that, and the production costs everything to the airing of advertisement. It cost around 8 million. So imagine how much money that is in being invested in advertising. Okay, so regardless of what your political beliefs or what you think is the correct way of doing politics, it doesn't matter when it comes to business, because politicians, they will give you business. They'll come and say, okay, please, we need an advertisement, create it this way, or things like that. Okay. uh Also in 2004, the ANC spent around 12 million on outdoor advertising, on billboards, on taxis, on flyers, or things like that. So advertising and campaigning at local government level is also used to promote local issues such as planning, permission for housing development, zoning of business districts, like what we've just witnessed in that advertisement. Okay. Um, Now, when politics interferes with advertising, so there's one tactic when advertising for political parties is called political attack advertisement, which were used by political parties during the last election, which is around 2009. However, these are sometimes considered offensive by citizens or even by some media who refuse to accept them. For example, the DA advert of 2016 was refused by SABC. Therefore, the political climate has to be considered when advertising for political parties. Okay. So unlike countries like United States and UK, in South Africa, political parties are not legally allowed to mention or explicitly disparage other parties. This is called comparative advertising and also applies to advertising of products and services. I will explain what comparative advertising is. Okay, so for now, let's watch this video here. Okay.
1994 united. We all shared the same dream. South Africa. Hijacked, power hungry and corrupt. They divide us with anger and hate. Corruption is killing our country. Those who have betrayed the struggle, the ones in power who have made themselves rich, while the poor go hungry. This is not what we were promised. More empty promises, more unemployment. For 25 years, we are moving backwards. The choice before us is simple. Either we make a change and move forward, or our dream dies. Only you have the power to bring change.
Okay. Wow, that advertisement. Okay. So guys, Zenzo, what do you think of this advertisement? Why do you think SABC refused to air this advertisement?
I think it's defamation of character.
Who were they
Um,
defaming? Who were they
they
defaming?
they they're dragging ANC's name on, like, basically
But
they treating ANC like trash, basically.
they never said ANC.
But yeah, but indirectly through the things that we see. They don't say it directly, but you could see with the color schemes and everything and the message and the faces of the political leaders of the ANC and the people running when the advertisements start. So in that sense, they were trying to convey a message that these people are actually clowns running around. They don't even know what they're doing, but the DA is the way forward. And the DA is the better party, more civilized party, more organized party, because you could see in the environment it was very chaotic. It wasn't clean, and was filled with empty promises and whatever and what have you. So it was basically just showing people that, nah, this party that you guys are voting for isn't doing anything for you.
Okay, but that's okay. So, but however, now this is politics. What's wrong with that? Is it not true
I
that the
mean,
country is chaotic?
there's nothing wrong with that. It's true. You see, it's true, but they are tarnishing. I feel like it's an unfair advantage to tarnish your competitors. Oh, it's okay. I mean, it's competition. So you want to win. So obviously you must make other people believe that this one is bad. But now you can't do it in that sense. You need to have a fair playing ground.
But it
You
is
know,
a play.
because I've never seen.
But
Sorry.
it is fair because remember, ANC also have they can also create their own advert and air it as well.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Because
Okay,
it's not
if
like,
that's the case, then
because remember, we are not in a dictatorship. ANC had the right also to create their own advert, air it as well, just like what these guys did. Okay, but I understand your point there. Gugu, what do you think of this advert? Or anyone else? Anyone else want to share what they think about this advert? Okay, there's a part that I want you. Uh, so now we are saying, okay, let me see. There's a message here. Okay, Google says I think it was okay. Okay, so it was just okay. Nothing wrong there. The on the part of the yeah, I think somewhere here. Exactly. Yeah. Can you listen to this, guys?
This is not what we were promised. Oh, empty. This is not.
What do you think there? What do you think there? Because they said this is not what we were promised. Then they show us a black kid playing with gravel there. What message is that?
the president promised that Black people will have a better life, that he'd create housing, that we'd be living in clean and sterile environments, whereas they just did that just to get more votes, you know. But I feel like it's the same with every other president. Not every president carries out whatever they say they're going to carry out. It's just a known thing. I feel like everybody knows that now. They just say nice things so that you can vote for them. And then once they're in power, they do what they want, what they think is better. So I feel like it has to do with that.
Okay, then Langa here says for DA, they are showing us that this country is corrupt. Okay. Then Google also says nothing wrong by reminding people who voted for the first time, who were promised things which were not delivered. False hope is wrong. Okay. If you need to change, try something new. Anyway, politics is a dirty game. Okay. Uh, don't go much into the politics of it. You want to go much into the advertising part of it. Okay. The advertisement itself. So remember now, we said here, um, there's a tactic that can be used in politics, which was called political attack, and where you attack your opponent. Okay. However, now the political climate has to be considered when advertising for political parties. Unlike in the United States, in South Africa, political parties are not legally allowed to mention or explicitly disparage other parties. This is called comparative advertising, and also applies to advertising if you're advertising your products or services. Now I want to explain what is comparative advertising. Comparative advertising, it is an advertising in which a particular product or service specifically mentions a competitor by name for the express purpose of showing why the competitor is inferior to the product you're naming. Okay, so a comparative advertisement, it compares two or more competing brands or one or more specific attributes, be it directly or indirectly. So DA in this particular advertisement, it used a comparative advertisement. They didn't mention the name, but we could actually pick, even as the guy was walking, you can actually see the A and C colors, isn't it? Behind him. You could actually tell this is um, ANC that they're talking about. So with comparative advertising, okay, like I say, it is an advertising in which a particular product or service specifically mentions a competitor by name, okay, or it compares two or more competing brands. It can be Coke and Pepsi, it can be Nike and Adidas. Uh, so as you compare now, as you do your comparative advertising, you become more specific about the weakness of that particular product or service. You might say, okay, we at Nike with the best. Adidas is a weakness of this, of this, of this, of this. Okay. So in politics, that's a good example if you look at that DA advertisement. Okay. Um, okay. The Google says the advertisement was straight to the point, is to lure someone to your side. Okay. Of course. Remember, now that's a good point now, because remember, advertisement is there to persuade people to either change a behavior or to persuade people to buy products or services. Just like in politics, it's there to persuade people to vote for a certain political party. So if the point was being aggressive enough to persuade people to vote for them, so that means the advertisement worked. Okay. Uh, Now let's look at this now. Okay. My computer just freezing here. Okay, I'll share again my screen with you guys. Okay. Okay, so remember now, if you analyze that ANC are ads and this DA, what's the major difference there? These are both political advertisement. What is the major difference there? With the first ANC advertisement that we saw and this DA one. Which one is kind of more radical, more persuasive? Um, anyone?
So I think it was the ANC one's more persuasive because they mention
Yeah. What did they mention?
they mentioned what they did during the 20 years that they were the ruling party, and they mentioned that they were still going to do more.
Okay. Okay. So in a way, you're saying those ones they actually telling what they've achieved. So
Yes.
what they achieved, you feel like it was more persuasive than the DA one. Okay, Google here says DA was more persuasive. Okay, you need to explain why you think DA was more persuasive.
I think DA expresses reality. It's not selling dreams. It's telling it as it is. You see, it's showing us that this is what's really happening. Not this people smiling and celebrity that ANC is showing, selling dreams. No, he is being straightforward. Like, hey, Baba, wake up. This is what's happening. These people said this and this and this is gonna happen, and I feel like that's what's persuading people, or what may have persuaded people. to go to the DA route because they can see that the DA is not afraid of the truth in a way. You see that they raw, that they transparent, and that they going to deliver. Maybe that's the intention that they want to sell to the audience. Sorry,
Okay.
and that they are serious about what they want to do. You know, yeah.
Okay. Anyone else?
But we also want to know exactly what it is that they were going to do instead of criticizing political. So they
No, no, no.
weren't transparent in exactly what it is that they were going to do.
No, 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 no. Check. In business, you over communicate value before you speak price. What ANC is doing is they're speaking price. They're not communicating. What DA is basically doing is telling you everything that's going on before telling you what they're gonna do, because it's gonna seem as if they're trying to win you over. Yes, they are trying to win you over, but they're trying to show you the facts that, bruh, this is the world that you're living in. This is the country and the ruling party that you have voted for. They're showing you everything before they come in and say, okay, sharp, listen, now this is what we're going to come with. This is what we're going to do differently because they've taken into consideration the failures and the weaknesses of the ANC.
Okay. Quite interesting. Okay. So let me share my screen again with you here. Okay. Remember now, if we go back to how we define advertising, remember there are keywords in the definition of advertising. Persuade, it's a keyword that you find when we define what is advertising. Communication, it's another keyword that we find when we define what is advertising. What in all these keywords that we find, there's promotion as well as a keyword in the definition of advertising. If you look at these two advertisements, okay, regardless of which political party you believe in, doesn't matter at this time. What matters is we need to contextualize within the confines of advertising. Okay, so we're saying advertising is there to persuade people to change behavior, just like an HIV and AIDS advertisement. It should be able to educate and inform people to the extent that they change their behavior. So when an HIV and AIDS advertisement comes on television, it says, uh, don't sleep around, or otherwise practice safe sex. Okay. So they are saying to the people, practice safe sex. They're teaching people, if you don't practice sex, there are chances that you get HIV. Even these days, they're also saying now, get circumcised as it reduces the chances of HIV infections, things like that. They are trying to persuade to change the behavior. With politics, they might change the behavior of people within a certain period of time. That's why you see right now, there's no ANC that is advertising. There's no DA that is advertising. There's no EFF that is advertising in this particular moment because they don't need to persuade anyone to vote for them. They only come within the period of elections. Okay, so that's how fake politics is. Okay, if they really care about the people, why are they not advertising now and telling us what they have been doing all this time? But they don't. They'll come back again when we have our next elections, selling us ideas. The purpose then of advertising there is to promote, number one, either EFF, DA, or ANC ideology or policies. And secondly, is to persuade people to vote for them. Okay. Like now, like remember I said now, it's different from United States. In states now, oh, they can actually name you. I'm sure if you've watched even the debates between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, they go hand in hand. The advertisements, they actually go and say, hey, don't vote for Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe. He's sick, he's old. The other one who say, don't vote for Donald Trump, he's a racist, bigotry, things like that. But however, here in South Africa, we can't do that. Okay. You can see there's a, okay. Okay, I'm sure everybody can see those messages there. Then, okay. Okay, so let's move on now. So, uh, this is the work that I want you to do. Okay, I want you to submit this work. So you go on Core Campus. The video is there. You can even download it there. I want you to do this work. You're going to review this video. Then you answer the following questions based on the video and how has political advertising changed in South Africa. So you're going to look at how politics was being done before, political advertising, and how it has evolved to where we are now. Okay. Then you also analyze political advertising, how it should be controlled or allowed in South Africa, to what extent. Then are there any dangers to political advertising? If you feel there are dangers, you need to explain those dangers. Okay, so I need every individual to do this. You submit it, because I'm sure after Easter, we're going to have another workshop. So during that workshop, you submit it to me, okay? And then seeing that it is allowed, should it be regulated? Should political advertising be regulated? Okay, so this one, let me explain a bit. By regulation, they basically say, should they come up with laws that guides how we advertise in South Africa, or should people just be politicians and let politicians do their thing? Let them advertise in a way that they feel they should advertise. Should there be a control there? Should there be a limitation there? Okay, that's what you will be looking at. So you look at that video, analyze the video, then you answer these questions. Okay. So before we proceed there, any questions? Anyone with any question?
Yes, sir. I noticed that lesson 7 is not on core campus yet.
Which one?
This one that we're doing is not on core campus. Lesson 7
Oh,
is not on core campus.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure it's not, but it will be uploaded by end of day today.
Okay.
Okay, but still, if you don't access it there, you can always send me your email. I can always email it to you. Okay, so I need you to understand something now. Advertising in the political environment, political institutions being business people to advertising agencies. Okay, that's a good thing. Then advertising within the realms of politics. So these are two different concepts. You need to understand it. When now, let's say that advertisement has been created now, and you're advertising for your political party. Those two videos that we watched, you can actually tell the difference in terms of ideology. You can tell the difference in terms of the approach. The other one is saying for the past 25 years, we didn't get nothing. These people have been lying to us. Okay. Then this other one was saying, no, for the past 25 years, we gave you RDP. We gave you education, we gave you NSFAS. And these ones are saying, no, we didn't get NRDP. You saw that kid there sitting there, they don't have any housing. So that's politics. So in political advertisement, there can be a lot of lies as well. So you need to understand that. So you as an individual studying advertising, you watch those two advertisements. What is the truth there? What can you tell to a foreign person who comes to South Africa? He's looking at the DA advertisement and he's looking at the ANC advertising. How do you balance the two? What would you say? Ask you, okay, but these ones are saying we have given you NSFAS, we've given you education, we've given you housing, and these ones are saying no, there's no housing. What would you say?
I'll tell them I think it's a good idea to try Julius Malema, maybe. Maybe he'll bring change or whatever.
Okay. Happily, what do you think? Gugu, what do you think? Okay, maybe we're having problem with the network there. Okay, so in summary, this is what I'm going to say now. You need to understand, like I explained, um, you need to know the difference between comparative advertising and competitive advertising. Competitive advertising, um, let me see. Okay, Google says Asia. I think I'll tell them to try something new. Okay. So competitive advertising, it is there to influence demand for a specific brand. So that's competitive advertising. I don't want you to confuse it with comparative advertising. Okay. Because remember, comparative advertising, it is an advertisement in which a particular product or service specifically mentions a competitor by name. Okay. For the express purpose of showing why the competitor is inferior to the product, naming it. Just like in politics, what we saw with DA. Then competitive advertising, it is there to influence demand for a specific brand. Okay. Then one more last thing, guys, before, let me just share quickly here. Where is my screen? Okay, let me share with you something here. Okay, this is your brief. If you access this on Core Campus, your assignment. I heard a lot of people you say you did not access this. Okay, I want you to go through it. I'll help you. I'll show you how you answer things like that. Where you don't understand the questions that you don't understand, I'll help you. Like when he says explain what self-reference criterion is, we did this, isn't it? Even during the workshop, where we said self-reference criterion, it is the influence of one's culture on the behavior in a given situation. It can be when put in a situation, people tend to respond in a way that is closely associated with their culture, things like that. The influence of culture, even when making a decision or buying something, the influence of culture in advertising, things like that as well. Yes, Zenzo, please go ahead.
Says it's not available.
Uh,
Oh no, sorry. I just clicked that. So yeah, I can see it now. I
oh,
clicked
yes.
on it, then I could see the question.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
guys, I want you to go through that assignment, go through everything, the questions, anything that you don't understand, also on how to tackle the question. Just let me know, then I will assist in that regard. Okay. Is there any other question that you might think you need to know? Anything that you don't understand that I might help you with?
Do you have past examinations and memos?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Do you have past examinations and memos?
All that I don't have. I don't have, but I'll make a plan for you. Okay.
All right.
When we reach there's a certain level that when we reach there, we'll, we'll talk about it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question, guys, before we call it a day? Okay, seems like no question. Okay, so guys, see you after Easter. Have a wonderful Easter. If you're a Christian, go and celebrate Jesus. If you're not, just study. Okay. So have a lovely, lovely holiday. See you next week.